that?
About Machito? Oh, that,
Oh,
that would be a good thing to talk about.
talk about whatever you want, Bobby.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay,
Go.
well, I was with T. Rodriguez's band. This was in the early 60s, I guess 63 or 64, something like that. And then I got the gig in Machito's band. And that was just mind-blowing. Just when I sat in that band, and all the old guys were there, the original guys were all there. It was that band, you know, with all Joe's father and Leslie, the baritone player, and all these great, all of the players, you know, over there.
Name some names, Bobby.
Well, what's his name? The trumpet player. I love this guy. I loved him. Oh God, I'm having a senior moment.
Doc Cheatham band at any time?
Who?
Doc Cheatham?
Yeah, on the recording I did with him, he was on, and he played some gigs in the band. Yeah, and Chocolate and Chaparro and those guys. But the guy I'm thinking of, God, oh shit. uh, he was a great cat. He was like when he would play, he would like at the end of it, he'd go like that with the trumpet, like pull it out.
Roy Roman?
No, this is way before that.
Because Roy Roman used to
guys,
do that.
One of the older, you know, guys. He didn't look
Okay.
as old as the other guys. But,
Okay.
we used to love him. And different bass players, Guajarón, I remember him. It was just, anyway. What I was saying is that when I sat in that band and I heard them play for the first note, from the first note, I was shocked, you know, at the sound that came out. These old, unbelievably deep, great players. You know, the sound that the band created. I never experienced anything like. I said to myself, this is what it's like, probably to sit in Duke Ellington's band with those guys, or Basie's band with all the greats around you. You know, that's how it influenced. That was such an unbelievable experience to hear that band around me, and I'm playing with them. You know, that was great. And then we played. We did this recording called Mucho Mucho Machito, and there was some great boleros. I think they were Chico Farro or Rene Hernandez. I forget who now wrote them, the arrangements. And Mario Bowser decided to let me play the lead on them. He said I guess he liked the way I played, and that was so great that because he was playing lead alto when I went in the band, and that's another thing. The sound he had, the way he played it, reminded me of the greats from like Basie and Duke, you know. And he let me play on those, and I'm really proud of those. I'm very happy that I was playing on those tunes. About 3 or 4 of them, you know, on that record.
You probably don't remember because you did so many recordings, but the first time that I had the honor to do a recording session with you was Larry Harlow did a big band thing called Raza Latina, yeah.
You were on that? Oh.
Yeah. John Faddis was on that, and some other great players. So that was a highlight of my career
That was a good
back then, yeah.
Also, and Homie, I did Homie with the Harlow also.
That was
I just
before,
played flute on that.
That was before me. uh, tell me real quick about some of the most fun gigs that you ever did, or tours. Does anything stick out in your mind?
Well, you know, later on when I played with Tito's small what was it called, the Latin Jazz Ensemble, which became larger and larger through the years. It ended up like a sort of like the big band in size, but we did some really nice tours. Like my first big tour with them when I joined. I had been with Tito Puente's band before that, but not with the jazz ensemble.
Okay.
And my first tour with them was in Japan they had with 3 Blue Notes in Tokyo, Osaka, and Fukuoka. 1 week in each place, so that was just great. Just going to play in those places and the way they treated you in Japan and everything, and spending a whole week in each city. You know, I remember that very well. And then we had one tour. Ray Vega and I used to call it the Tour from Hell, where we were. It lasted about 3 weeks at least, and we were based. We seemed to be based in Italy in this tour. We'd go from Italy to Turkey, back to Italy, then to Germany, back to Italy, back to, you know, and it would go day after day where we'd arrive, and we'd have a sound check at 1 o'clock. We couldn't get any sleep. Then we'd have to go back to the hotel and eat, and then go to the gig. And it went day after day with no sleep. And I kept saying, how much of this can we endure? I don't know how long we can go like this, but we did it, of course, And we had an experience in Yugoslavia, in Belgrade, in Serbia, where they took all of our money when we were trying to go home. There was all of, and they said, "Don't you see that sign over there? You're supposed to declare the money you bring in, American money you bring in." But the thing is, they took us through. They took us right through, so we didn't have to see the sign. And it took a long time. We had to leave, go back to Italy without our money, and then our booking, the guy who booked the tours in London threatened them, and we got our money back.
Thank
He
God for
threatened that
that.
he would never send them any more groups if they didn't give our money back.
Thank God
But
for
that was
that.
an interesting tour. That was a